Labor costs. Introduction. Labor cost includes all the salary and wages paid to those employees plus the benefits, taxes, and etc. Therefore, expenditure on labor occupies a major place among total costs. Also, controlling labor cost is more important and difficult when compared to others, for example materials, due to the involvement of humans. Employee behavior and satisfaction of employees are also involved in the other phase of labor. Elements of labor costs. Labor costs emerge because of two fundamental activities, which are manufacturing and non-manufacturing. Labor costs have several components that are different from each other. At the core of labor costs, there is payment. That payment may be in the form of a wage or salary. Salaries are fixed payments to employees for their performance and productivity working on a monthly basis. However, wages are payments to employees working on an hourly or daily basis. It does not matter whether the pay type is salary or wage because they are both reflecting payments to employees. Below, the elements of labor cost are listed. Basic pay. Week and holiday pays. Overtime payment/premium. Night/shift payment/premium. Production and efficiency premium. Holiday pay. Allowances, i.e. traveling allowance. Education and training payments. Social welfare contributions. Health payments. Severance payments. Social security premiums. Unemployment insurance premiums. Labor costs related to actual work. Basic pay, overtime pay and production and efficiency payment are directly related to the actual work of the employee. Basic pay is received in return for regular work. Overtime pay and premium are received for overtime work, that is, work exceeds 45 hours in a week. Overtime pay is considered as labor cost related to actual work, where overtime premium is considered as labor cost related legal and contractual enforcement or discretionary reasons. Labor costs related to legal and contractual enforcement or discretionary reasons. Labor law enacts that employees shall be paid full day's wages for the national and public holidays on which they have not worked. If they work instead of observing the holiday, they shall be paid an additional full day's wages for each day worked. Classification of labor costs. Costs are classified as direct and indirect according to traceability to cost objects. Direct/indirect labor refers to employees. Direct/indirect labor cost refers to cost. Direct labor costs. Direct labor costs refer to wages or salaries paid to direct employees for the work performed. Direct labor costs are directly assigned to the cost of goods produced or services rendered. There are two main points for determining the labor cost as direct. Payment must be done to employees to make a product or render a service, and those employees must be clearly involved that production or service process that are defined as direct labor. The question is that all payments made to direct employees are direct labor cost. The answer is no. Only basic payment, overtime payment, and production and efficiency payment of direct labor are considered direct labor costs. In other words, elements related to the actual work of direct labor are characterized as direct labor cost. However, elements related to legal and contractual enforcement or discretionary reasons, which are week and holiday pays, overtime premium, night/shift premium, social welfare contributions, health payments, holiday pay, allowances, education and training payments, severance payments, social security premiums and unemployment insurance premiums of direct employees are indirect labor cost. As those kinds of payments are made for direct employees, the nature of those costs is indirect. This is why they are classified as indirect labor costs. Indirect labor costs. Indirect labor refers to employees who are necessary for operations but who are not directly involved in the production or service process. Therefore, indirect labor cost covers all payments done for indirect labor. Basic pay, overtime pay, production and efficiency premium, week and holiday payments, overtime premium, night/shift premium, social welfare contributions, health payments, holiday pay, allowances, education and training payments, severance payments, Social Security premiums and unemployment insurance premiums of indirect labor are classified as indirect labor cost. Determining labor costs. First of all, some concepts related to labor should be clarified. Wage is a general term and refers to payments to employees by employers in exchange for work. Basic pay, wage, refers to payments made to employees only for working. Vested wage refers to payments made to employees for regular work plus other payments such as premiums, allowances, social welfare payments and etc. Gross wage refers to wage, which has not yet been object to any deduction due to legal enforcement. Basic wage. There are three main methods to determine basic pay. Those methods are the time-based system, piece-based system, accord system, and premium-based system. These are also called remuneration systems. Time-based system. Under the time-based system, the important point is the time that employee spends at work. The measure of time can be the hour, day, week, or month. Under this system, productivity is ignored, only time is considered. Piece-based system. Under the piece-based system, the output is considered. This system focuses on the units that employees produce and ignores the time spent. This kind of system is only applicable to businesses where efficiency is measurable for employees. Basic pay increases in proportionate with produced units. This system makes employees work harder in order to earn much more money. However, like other systems, this system also has disadvantages. For instance, in order to produce more units, employees may be too ambitious and thus more careless. This may result in occupational accidents or the production of defective products. Premium-based system. Finally, for determination of labor costs, there is another system, which is known as premium-based. Criticisms about the disadvantages of time-based and piece-based systems lead to apply for a new one, which is named the premium-based system. Under this very well-known system, employee is paid a basic wage and premium for his/her efficient work. In any case, the employee is paid a basic wage but not premium even if he/she is not able to achieve the target efficiency. Accounting for labor costs. There are two main types of labor costs: direct labor costs and indirect labor costs. Direct labor costs are regulated under the account group 72 in Turkish Uniform Chart of Accounts. Indirect labor costs are accumulated in manufacturing overhead. Therefore, in Turkish Uniform Chart of Accounts, the account groups 73 and 74 are used for indirect labor cost. Details of the accounts are as follows: 720 direct labor expenses. 721 reflection accounts for direct labor expenses. 722 direct labor wage differences. 723 direct labor time differences. 730 manufacturing overhead, general manufacturing expenses. 740 cost of production of services. Accounting for labor costs in a manufacturing company. Direct labor costs incurred in a manufacturing company are tracked by 720 direct labor expenses account, and indirect labor costs incurred in a manufacturing company are tracked by 730 manufacturing overhead account. Accounting for labor costs in a service company. Direct labor costs incurred in a service company are tracked by 740 cost of production of services account, and indirect labor costs incurred in a service company are tracked again by 740 cost of production of services account. However, it is indicated that cost is an indirect labor cost. Payroll-related issues. Payroll is not a salary or wage. Payroll or payroll register is a process. The process includes calculating wages, withholding taxes, and other deductions. Nowadays, automated payroll systems are used because, as determined before, payroll-related costs constitute a major part of the total costs, and tracking them accurately is important. An employee receives net pay, which is less than gross pay. This is because there are two main deductions from the gross pay. One is required deductions by legal enforcement. The other one is optional deductions that depend on discretionary reasons. Required deductions are mainly Social Security premiums and unemployment insurance premiums according to Social Security and tax regulations. Optional deductions, i.e. private pension plans, are authorized by the employer for special reasons. This section aims to focus on Social Security premiums and unemployment premiums that are a real fact of Turkey. Special topics in labor costs. Tracking labor costs among three types of manufacturing costs, which are direct materials, direct labor, and overhead. Direct labor cost occupied the largest portion for many years. However, recent developments in technology shifted this largest portion from direct labor cost to overhead costs. Because the use of technology in manufacturing resulted in a decrease in direct labor and an increase in overhead costs. The most common way to track labor costs is keeping labor time cards for many years now. The firm assigns a card to each employee. Time card can be a physical piece of paper. In such a case, as the employee enters or leaves the firm, he/she inserts the card in the clock, and that clock prints the exact time for arriving and leaving. In addition, the time card can be a virtual record updated as the employee checks in and out and enters the job number in a computerized information system. In recent years, instead of those kinds of manual labor time cards, some other technological systems are used to keep track of labor. For instance, some firms use scanning devices to read employees' barcode identification, some use biometric fingerprint scanner, and etc. Idle time. Idle time labor costs are regarded as indirect labor costs. In order to understand the logic behind this, it would be better to clarify the concept of idle time and the reasons for idle time.